welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are doing a review on this foundation. I'm wearing it right now. It is the HNB Cosmetics Silky Matte Weightless Foundation. I have a lot to say on this, so I hope this video is really helpful if you're thinking about buying it. Before we get into the review, if you could subscribe to my channel, I would be so grateful. It really helps me to reach more people like you, and if you ever want to watch one of my videos, you'll have the option because I'll be on your homepage. So hit the subscribe button and let's get into the video. Okay, so we're gonna go straight in. I'm gonna talk to you about the foundation and then apply it on my skin. So this is what the bottle looks like. I actually have 3 shades. I have MF7C, MF8N, and MF9W. So this is what the foundation looks like. It has this gorgeous, very on-brand packaging. It's got a frosted glass bottle which feels so expensive, and one of the things I'm actually most excited about is the lid. So on HNB's skin tint, the lid comes off really easily and it doesn't really stay on at all. The other foundation has some really good packaging where it kind of twists up and the nozzle comes out, so you don't have to worry about a lid on that one. But I was really interested to see if they'd improved the lid on this particular foundation, and they have. So it comes off and then it clicks back on, so you know it's not going anywhere, and I'm so glad they made that improvement. So the packaging as a whole is a yes from me, and I have 3 different shades. These are like the perfect kind of fake tan shades, so I'll swatch them for you now. You'll have to excuse the eczema on my hand, this is not a swatch. So this one is MF7C, then you've got MF8N and MF9W. So if I give them a little swatch, this is MF7C, MF8N, oh that was a bit squiggly, and MF9W. So you can see like the different tones there. They are all generally quite warm, I would say, but you can see they get darker. My shade is definitely 7C. I find this to be the best that works for my tan, but these 2 are really nice warm shades, and even if you mix a couple together, they come out really nice. For this particular foundation, HNB have 25 shades ranging from cool to neutral to warm. I think that's a nice amount. Like, they're not a massive company like Maybelline who could afford like a 50 shade range. But 25 I think is a nice amount, makes it easy to shop, and also the shades range from very pale to very dark nice and evenly. There's been a lot of controversy on TikTok about a particular brand who just have like 2 black shades and then the rest are white. This has a nice even amount of each kind of category, if you know what I mean. Of course, there is always room for improvement, but for a first drop, I think that's good. So before I apply it, I'm just going to let you know what this foundation promises, so that when you see it on my skin, you know kind of like what to expect and how it should perform. So I've got it up on my phone here, and it says our brand new Silky Matte Weightless Foundation is a perfect weightless formula providing full coverage with a silky smooth matte finish. A lightweight silky matte foundation that dries down to provide a long-lasting effect and controls oil throughout the day. Soft texture provides a silky-like feel over the skin that blurs and smooths perfections. You can shop it on their website, or you can get it on TikTok Shop, or you can get it in Boots. I know a lot of the Boots stores around the country are rolling out HNB stands, which is amazing. I love that. So hopefully you'll be able to get it in store very soon. Speaking of which, let's talk price. This foundation is £20. I can't believe how good that is. The amount of product you get, the premium feel packaging, but for £20 I feel like this is a really reasonable price for this foundation. But without further ado, I feel like you have enough information now, so let's get it on the face. So for context, I've just applied my normal skincare, and for prep I'm going to use this Dolly primer. This is brand new. It's the Dolly, it's just called the Dolly Prep, I think, Perfecting Primer. You can get this off TikTok, and I've been really liking this because it promises to be hydrating and gripping. So I feel like it's a really nice first step. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of that to the skin because I am actually going out today, so I do want this to look good and last. So on one side of my face, I'm going to apply it with a brush. I've been just loving these brushes. I feel like I go on about them in every single video, but this is the Joy Adenuga brush, and it's a nice kind of fluffy but also quite tapered and flat foundation brush. So I'm going to be using this on this side, and then I'm just going to use a sponge on this side, and I think this is the ISO Clean sponge, and I really like these. So these are the sides I'm going to be using them on, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using the shade 7C. I feel like this is my perfect match, so I'm just going to pump 3 pumps onto my hand. I suspect that will be too much. So using my finger, I'm going to do a couple of dabs on each side. I'm going to try and do the same amount. Should probably get a mirror because I'm trying to use the viewfinder at the minute. Okay, so that is about the same each side. As you can see, I've still got loads left. 3 pumps is probably a bit too much, to be honest. So let's go in with the brush first. I'm just gonna start gently swiping that across the skin. As you can see, this shade is obviously a lot darker than my natural face colour, but I am matching it to my fake tan, which is on my arms and the rest of my body. So I'm just swiping that over the skin, and it's got a really nice kind of like natural glow to it, because even though this says this is matte, if you do the right glowy skin prep and apply it nicely, it's really not going to be drying, it's not going to be too matte, and as you can see, like, the glow is still coming through. It just applies so effortlessly as well. I don't think I've said this yet, but this obviously isn't a first impressions. I have used this quite a few times. As you can see on my forehead, it's nice and full coverage. The coverage is coming through. I'm gonna go around my eyebrow. So I've just dabbed that in with this brush as well. It doesn't leave any streak marks, so it's really, really nice for the finish. Look how flawless that looks. I'm obsessed. It's really not matte, as you can see, but it does dry down a little bit and it has really nice oil control. I have combination skin, so I really enjoy that factor about it. Let's blend in the sponge side. So I'm going to go in with the flat edge and just start to blend that out, and you'll be able to see pretty quickly that the sponge side is a lot more natural than the brush side, but it still does a really nice job of covering what you want it to. And I think with the sponge you can see your skin a little bit more, so it just gives a more natural finish. On the sponge side you can see my freckles a little bit more, and this is the brush side. In person I really feel like you can tell the difference between the actual coverage, as I say, and for the price of the foundation it's only £20, but I really like that you almost get like 2 in 1, because if you apply it with a brush you're going to get a really nice like full glam coverage type finish, but then you can use it on a day-to-day basis, use a little bit less and use it with a sponge, and it will provide you with like a really nice daytime foundation. So this is what we are looking like. I really like it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish off my makeup. I'm gonna even out the sides ever so slightly. So I'll go in with a sponge on this side, and then I'll just go in with a brush a little bit this side. I am going out, so I kind of want to look even. I'll finish off my makeup, do all of my bronzer, concealer, all of that good stuff, and then I'll come back at the end and give you my final review. Okay, so I've just finished my makeup. This is what we are looking like. I love how it's turned out. Obviously I've added powders and stuff on top, so it does look more matte now, but you can see the finish on it. It's super flawless, and I would definitely say it has more of a satin finish. Like, I don't think it's matte. It definitely dries down. Once you've let it set for a bit, it definitely doesn't feel glossy or like glowy. When you run your brush over it, it kind of like sticks. It's gone tacky. I personally wouldn't describe this as a matte foundation. I know I look pretty matte now because I put powders on. I want it to last all day, so it's definitely really easy to make matte, but also it's really easy to make glowy. If you give yourself the right prep, it's going to make you look really healthy and just flawless. Not to toot my trumpet or anything, but yeah, I just think my skin looks really good, really just healthy, and I feel like it speaks for itself. I'm gonna zoom you in just so you can see really close up. So you can see the texture of it here. You can see all around my nose there's no like patchiness or sticking to dry patches. You can see there's no redness coming through. Obviously I've got blusher on, but this is along the jawline, which I find a really tricky place to actually put foundation on and stick to. You can see here it's stuck really well. You can see there's no patchiness or anything. And lastly, my forehead, you'll have to ignore my little breakout here, but I mean, look, it just is amazing. I'm so happy with it. If you didn't know already, if you don't follow me on TikTok, you probably won't know. I actually went to the launch party for this foundation. I tried it before that launch party, and since then I've been using it non-stop. I would highly recommend it, especially if you have oily skin. As mentioned, I have combination skin, and I find that it just doesn't go oily around my nose. It's amazing. So if you're wondering how it lasts through the day, it will pretty much look the exact same as this. I'm not even joking. And if I'm honest, I don't ever think I've used a foundation like that as a combination girly. So I can imagine if you have oily skin and you're oily all over, it's really tricky to get a foundation that looks healthy, full coverage and stays on. But I truly believe that this will be your solution. And if you have dry skin, I also think it's really going to work because it has that kind of glow. As you saw, my skin at the start was quite glowy, so if you lather your skin in your moisturizer and then apply this, I think it's going to work for you too. So all in all, I really like this foundation. I would highly recommend it. You can pick it up in Boots or online, or if you head over to my TikTok shop, you can buy it off there. Top tip, if you have extra TikTok coupons, you'll get it for cheaper. So that is my final review. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions about this product at all, let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer. Now, I upload every single Wednesday, so please do make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next Wednesday at 5 PM. Bye babes.